talking about last week are apples. You guys remember that? We're talking about our sixth trait writing and how we're going to create a story about that. We want to use all of those six traits that we talked about, that Mrs. Ford has already talked to you about. But I really want to hit upon some of these few things that you guys, I think, missed out on a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to this book. We're going to talk about a few things, actually, before I go back to that book. I want you to be able to explain, or tell me explain what you think this book is going to be about. And then we're going to examine the book, examine the book and what you've learned about apples from the book. And then we're going to go back and we're going to talk about, compare what you find on the internet and maybe some of the things about the book. So I'm going to go in the book, I can say the book one more time, can I? And talk about just a few of the things that I want you to have written down, okay? So the first thing that I want you to have written down, but don't start yet because we're going to talk about it a little bit, is an apple is a fruit. It grows on a tree. Apple trees grow in more parts of the world than any other fruit. They have been in existence for about 2 million years. Now that's a long time, isn't it? Okay. Then, each year, about 250 million bushels of apples are grown in the United States, and 28 million bushels are grown in Canada. Quite a few. Then, during late fall, late summer or early fall, apples ripen. And a few little things that apples can be made into are, some apples are used to make apple juice, apple cider, apple jelly, applesauce, and many other apple products. Okay? So those are some of the things that I really wanted to hit up on about this book. So, in your cluster map that you guys have in front of you, I want you to write down a few of the things we discussed. So what was one of the things that the book told us? Jenny.
It's a fruit.
That is right. Good job. I want you to put that in one of the squares. Rich. What was one of the things that the book also talked about?
You can make apple juice, apple cider.
That is correct. Can you write that in another one of your squares? The book also talked about how many bushels that the United States produces. Does anybody remember how many bushels the United States produce in a year?
250 million?
Yeah.
Billion.
Million. 250 million. And then does anybody remember how many bushels how many bushels Canada produces?
28.
28 million. Good job. Good job. Did you guys get that all down? Okay, and then the last one, not in the last box, because in the last box we're going to talk about, or we're going to actually take a little time and look it up online and see what facts we can find online. So in one of the last facts, does anybody remember how long apples have been in existence?
2 billion.
1,000.
2 million years. Good job, Rich. Can you write that down in one of your boxes, please? Is that how you spell 2 million years? Good job. Okay. And now we're going to take a few minutes and get on the internet, and I want you guys to look up at any site you want to. A few sites that I know of are like Orange Pippin has a lot of facts about apples.
Orange Pippin?
Yes. And so I think there's another internet site called Ducksters. And now I want you guys to tell me a few facts that you personally, or if you found one last time.
So you want us to find one fact and put in one of the squares?
1 to 2 facts.
Orange kitten.
Pippin.
What was the other one besides orange pippin?
Maybe like ducksters is another
Duck.
duck
There it is.
is another appropriate website.
I have an apple tree in my yard.
You have an apple tree in your yard?
Yeah, I don't know what kind of apples it
Oh,
is.
I was gonna say, does it produce any apples? Oh, it does, really? That's neat. You know, one good thing that, one thing that I hear is really good is if you bring your teacher an apple.
Oh.
Something to think about.
Oh, it's Googling.
All right, Rich, what did you find on your site?
That there were more, there's over 600 different types of apples.
600 different types? That's interesting. I didn't realize there were that many.
I guess I just had that there was 4,000 types of apple trees. I don't know if that's different than his.
I don't know either.
So what on here, can we just Google, just search for
Apples, yeah. I can try it. I'm not for 100% sure what all it'll bring.
Oh, it takes you back to Google for kids.
Vermont, that's interesting.
Had a good one too.
Okay. Rich, what else did you learn from your internet search?
If you add in half an apple, it'll help keep the cake fresh longer.
That
When
is
you store it.
interesting. Yeah, that is very interesting. Jenny, did you find anything else out?
I found that the state food for Vermont is an apple, as well as Minnesota has a Honeycrisp apple, which I didn't get to read too much into it on Minnesota. I was just gonna look up what the difference is between the Honeycrisp apple and other apples.
Honeycrisp apples are one of the more liked apples by kids because they're very sweet tasting. You know, they have that little honey flavor in them, so kids seem to be more attracted to those. Okay, so when we go to start writing our 6-trait paragraph, do you guys think we have enough in there to fill out a good paragraph about apples? We know that apples were created, or have been in existence for 200 million or 2 billion years. So we have at least their beginning, and essentially we have a beginning for our paragraph. And then we talked about how many bushels the U.S. has of apples. And then you guys have a few of your own facts to create your own. So do you guys feel a little more prepared for your 6th grade writing paragraph? Good, good. All right, so now we talked about the book and what information it gave us about apples, and then we found our internet searches gave us some great helpful things to put in our paragraph, and we compared those to what the book said and the internet said, and so that is it. Now we can go get ready to write our paragraphs.